Welcome to the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us, along with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
We are here today to talk about the first meeting of the year, which took place on January 6th. Plus, we have a lot to talk about of things coming up in the city. So thanks again for joining us. Let's begin with the council meeting. A lot of formalities at the first meeting of the year. The first was presentation of the colors by the Scouts.
Yeah, so we always have a scout troop come in and present the colors. Let me get to my page here. So it was Cub Scout Pack 584, and they presented the colors and led the Pledge of Allegiance. They also came in early to visit with the mayor.
Oh, very nice.
It helps, I think they get one of their patches for having sort of a government visit. So that's always an interesting conversation with those young men and the mayor. So that was good and great to have them there present with us to present the colors that evening.
Next item on the meeting was the invocation, which is something, again, that starts off each year.
Yeah, so we rotate this between the various members of the faith community every year here in the city. And this year it was lead pastor, Reverend Dr. Joel Witt-Hogheim from Lord of Life Lutheran Church. And so very nice message, and always offering sort of a message of hope and support for local government and the work that we do here in the city.
Next item was the oath of office, and planning on a couple, but just one this one, and there'll be one delayed a little bit.
Yeah, we were able to swear in John McCullough. So he had his family there, both his parents and his in-laws, and his lovely wife Jennifer. And so John McCullough was sworn in. Mike Ostaffi fell ill earlier in the day, and so we will catch up with him on January 21st and get him sworn in as well.
Next item on the meeting on the 6th was the longest item of the night, and that was the state of the city, opportunity for the mayor and the council members to talk a little bit about the city. Give us a little recap of those discussion points.
Yeah, so a lot of great comments by the mayor, Councilmember Janigo, Councilmember McCullough. Councilmember Johnson was also absent due to some family issues, and so great comments there by the newly elected and the mayor returning, of course, been here for over 25 years, and Councilmember Janigo. I think reflection on some of the accomplishments of the past year in terms of a lot of the growth of industry and new housing and transportation projects, those types of things, the community center, the lifetime deal kind of getting wrapped up, and then a lot of looking forward too to the next phase of the community center and continued growth and development of not only our residential offerings, but work, job creation and workforce type projects. So a lot of great comments there. We do have other things going on with regard to State of the City. We'll be doing a video here, working with your team to put that together, kind of a recap of the year and a look forward that we'll be using on social media. Will be out on our website, as well as the I-94 West Chamber of Commerce hosts an event here later in January that we'll be participating in, kind of a panel type event discussion with the various cities, either mayors, city administrator, or city staff that participate in. And always kind of an interesting day to hear about what's going on in the various communities that the I-94 West Chamber serves. So lots of things with the state of the city, but good to have these comments here and all very positive going into the new year. And
we'll talk more about that I-94 event and give you the date and time in just a few minutes here. One item pulled from consent on the 6th, and that was the appointment of Lake Quality Commission candidates.
Yeah, so we, of course, had a number of board and commission vacancies going into the new year here, so we've been working on filling those. So we were able to appoint 3 new members to the Lake Quality Commission. Adam Hareen will be the new Edward Lake representative, Martin Pavlova as an at-large representative, and Peter Cangialosi as an at-large representative as well. So we're really appreciative. These 3 come with a great background in issues, with education and their work life that brings them some expertise for what we're looking for the Lake Quality Commission. So really appreciate residents' willingness to step up and serve their community and give back in this way. And these 3 will bring great experience to the Lake Quality Commission. So congratulations congratulations, and again, thank you for stepping up to serve.
And there are more commission opportunities open. We'll talk about those in just a minute as well. One other item on consent you wanted to mention is the new Economic Development Manager.
Yeah, so we've been out recruiting for a new economic development manager, and we are very proud to announce that Jennifer Munson will be joining us here later in the month. January 21st she starts. She's coming to us from the city of St. Louis Park, where she was the redevelopment administrator. Great background, has her master's degree in urban and regional planning from Clemson University, and so we're really excited to get Jennifer on board, and I'm sure we'll have her out to provide an interview and talk about her background and what she's excited about working on here in Maple Grove. So congratulations to Jennifer, and we look forward to her joining the team.
Yeah, welcome to Maple Grove. Next item was adjourning to the EDA meeting, and much similar to the council, have to start things off at the beginning of the year with a few formalities.
Yeah, just appointing the council to the various roles on the EDA, president, treasurer, secretary, and then commissioners. Our EDA is the same body as our city council, and then getting oath of office there sworn in, and then just approving some minutes from the December 16th meeting. So kind of a procedural meeting for the EDA this evening.
Very good. Back to the council meeting then, and updates from the different departments. First, Community Economic Development, Planning Commission coming up on the 27th, and also some other openings on that Planning Commission.
Yeah, January 27th Planning Commission, a little too early to predict the agenda right at the moment of Monday night, but we do have 2 vacancies on the Planning Commission, which doesn't happen very often. We usually have very long-serving Planning Commission members. Mike Ostaffi, of course, was elected to the City Council, and then Chris Aika, after many years of service, decided to retire. So 2 important openings. This is a great opportunity for people to get involved in kind of being part of shaping the future of the community. You have the opportunity to review all the development applications that come in. We're going to be getting into the comprehensive planning process, our comp plan update here in the next year and a half, and so an opportunity to be part of that, which will really shape the future of the community out through 2050. So tight timeline here coming up. We've had a lot of information out about this, but just maybe one last mention here. Applications are accepted through 4:30 p.m. this Friday, January 10th, and all that information is available on our website. We do also have one vacancy on our Arbor Committee, so we're looking for an applicant there. That's open a little bit longer through Thursday, January 30th until 4:30 p.m. This is an opportunity to work on issues related to the kind of the beautification of the city, as well as preservation of the natural environment. So one opening there. This is a group of 11 residents who serve the community. Shane DeGroy, our city forester, is the staff liaison to this, and the term of service is for 3 years. So if you're interested in that, both Planning Commission and then Arbor Committee, go take a look at the city website, and just note that Planning Commission deadline is this Friday. So as you're watching this, we're taping this Wednesday.
Yes.
That's going to come up pretty quick.
Very good. MapleGroveMN.gov, the website, if you want to look for more information there. Next update was Engineering Public Works, and time to talk about 2025 street reconstruction, a meeting coming up.
Yeah, so we last year sort of implemented a new process in terms of how we're engaging with residents and communicating with residents about the upcoming street reconstruction process. That meeting will be held on January 14th from 2 to 6 p.m. We're also going to have some video of that, so that'll be available to residents if they're unable to attend that meeting. And then, of course, staff is always available to field any questions or concerns about this. So trying to take a more proactive approach in engaging with residents and getting information out to them early to be able to plan for what's coming up for the 2025 street reconstruction season. So again, January 14th, 2 to 6 p.m. If your neighborhood is part of the street reconstruction program for this coming year, you know that. You've received a lot of communication in a written form from us in the mail. So make sure you're taking a look at that, and if you're at all possible to get out to this meeting, I think that's a good idea, but we'll be sharing some information post that in a video form that folks can attend or listen to as well. So really appreciate the work Chris Labounty and his team are doing here to kind of change up how we're engaging with residents on street recon, and then we'll have process coming through to the council about kind of the assessment process and ordering those projects as we get through to through the spring months here at the council.
All right, more to come. We'll keep you up to date on that. Final item on the 6th was your report of some administrative items, and you're looking towards the legislative session in a number of ways.
Yeah, so session starts next week. Lots of discussion at the legislature about who's in control, and so it'll be interesting to see how things play out and if we really get going on the 14th or not. But we are prepared. We approved our legislative agenda at our December 16th meeting, so that's all ready to go. In fact, we have bills drafted for the 4 pieces of legislation that we're seeking, and so working with our legislators to get those bills jacketed as we get into the session here. But we are kicking off also the legislative breakfast season. So these are opportunities where different organizations that work at the legislature on behalf of cities host an opportunity for legislators to come in and hear about our platform for the year, what we're focused on and what's important. So the first one is the I-94 Coalition Breakfast, which is the morning of January 10th. So that's this Friday morning at 7:30 up at the Rogers Event Center. Kind of good to catch everybody maybe before the session here, before they have a lot of meetings on their calendar. And so very important, just to acknowledge the accomplishments that have been made out on the I-94 corridor in the past few years, and thank our legislators for that support, as many of those projects have been funded by either the corridors of commerce or through other dollars, transportation dollars that have been granted to MnDOT. So good morning of appreciation, but also to focus. I think our next area of focus is on the Fish Lake split. The big interchange out there with 94, 694, and 494, and more focused on wanting to advance study about what that interchange improvement eventually could look like, and then maybe to see if there's some interim improvements that might be considered to help with some of that, 2-to-1 merge, the squeeze there. So that's kind of where the focus is shifting for the I-94 Coalition, but still a very active group looking at what's needed out there on the I-94 corridor. So we'll be there Friday morning out in Rogers. And then just a note, city offices will be closed on Monday, January 20th in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And then, of course, our council meeting will shift to the Tuesday that week on January 21st.
So that is your wrap-up of the meeting from the 6th. Now let's head to some other things happening around the city of Maple Grove. And the first is organics. We've talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
Give us a little reminder about organics and what we need to know.
Yeah, so this change rolled out here this past Monday, January 6th. We, as part of the process where Hennepin County was requiring every city to have an organics program, we made the decision this past year to roll that into the city's recycling program. We were just seeing a lot of discrepancy between the haulers in terms of how they were doing that work and the fees they were charging for that, and we were able to kind of roll that into the city's recycling program and level that fee and make that service more streamlined and consistent. So if you have questions about that, please call up and talk to the folks in our engineering department. But I haven't heard a whole lot of chatter about it, whether it's emails to the council or social media. So I think the rollout is going okay. We know that this is a change for folks. And so, if you're having issues, please either contact our engineering staff or Republic Services, who's providing the service on behalf of the city, and we'll commit to getting those things figured out for you in short order here. So we want this to go well for folks, and we do think it was a good decision to roll it into our program. So again, reach out if you're having issues, and we'll work real quickly to get those resolved.
Very nice. Next item, a new business coming to town. It's Chipotle, the third Chipotle, but this one is a special Chipotle, I understand.
Yeah, so this is out at 101 and Bass Lake Road, and this is a new Chipotle, but it also has the Chipotle Lane. And so this is kind of speaking to the online ordering. Everybody orders from the app, or a lot of people order from the app, and this allows you the opportunity to just drive through a little Chipotle Lane and pick that up versus having to, get out of your car and run in type of thing. So kind of a nice new addition out there, and another restaurant offering out at 101 and Bass Lake Road, which I know a lot of those residents are very excited about having that out there.
Next item is the photo contest. We've talked about that coming, and it is is here now, so get out and take some pictures of, I guess, the ice right now,
Yeah.
hopefully the snow to come.
Right, I know. I wish we would have. I'm a snow person. I would prefer that we got the snow versus the snow that went to the south. But
Right.
hopefully that's coming for us at some point here. But our annual photo contest doesn't open until June 1st, but we do always love to have a lot of great winter photos, and there's lots of opportunity for that
Yeah.
here in Maple Grove. So encourage residents to get out and capture some shots here, and then look forward to the photo contest in June.
Speaking of the snow, when it does come, just a
Yeah.
few reminders here about what residents can do and what the city does related to snowfall.
Yeah, so just a reminder on a few items. Parking is not permitted on our city streets between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. This just really allows us to clear the streets for snow removal, but also for, the police department purposes as well. And so our snowplow threshold is 2 inches, and so if we have a snowfall of 2 inches, so even outside of that 2 to 6 period, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. time frame, we need you to get those cars off the streets so that we can come through and plow and get everything plowed curb to curb. Really important in your neighborhoods to think about those fire hydrants and the storm drains, keeping those clear of snow and ice. Super important if there's a fire in a neighborhood that the fire department can locate that fire hydrant really quick and get access. So if you can have a discussion amongst your neighbors and decide who's going to take that responsibility, maybe shift it around from month to month, but super important to keep those fire hydrants accessed during the winter months. And storm drains helps us, just as we have the melt season, some of that water, moving it off the street and keep ice off of those curbs. Removing snow from the sidewalks in front of your home, that's a requirement here in the city of Maple Grove. Those sidewalks are required to be maintained by residents. And then just a reminder, as we get into garbage and recycling days, that those need to be behind the curb line. If we have a day where we have both garbage and recycling and a snow event, that can get really complicated in the neighborhood. So we just want to make sure those are, up in the driveway at the curb line, behind the curb line, so we're not interfering with the activity of the plows. So hopefully we'll have some snow to plow here so that we can enjoy some of that winter fun, but just some good reminders as we continue through the winter season.
Yeah, good points to remember. We talked about some commission opportunities earlier. Here's another opportunity to give back to the city through police reserves. What does that look like?
Yeah, so the police department is accepting applications for the Maple Grove Police Reserve Unit. The Reserve Unit is a great way for residents to get involved in the community and gain new skills. We provide all of the training, and of course this is open to a wide range of age groups and careers, so it's just a great opportunity to volunteer. Each reserve officer is provided training through the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. Detailed information is available on the city website and in the city newsletter about how to apply.
If you've driven by the community center lately, you see things popping up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Tell us about the excitement, what's happening now and what's planned for the next month or so.
Yeah, the walls of the new arena are going up, and folks will notice it's a different color of brick, and that theme is going to be carried through the building as we move east with the next phases of the project. It's a very interesting brick. It kind of plays with the sunshine a little bit. There are days that it looks very dark, and there are days that it looks a little lighter. So kind of a fun new addition to the community center. But the precast stadium seating for the new rinks has been installed. We'll be getting the roof trusses in place here in the coming weeks, and then they'll be turning internally to work. But progress is steady over there. I know they added some parking on the west end there. Kind of drove around there the other day to see how that was working. Might be a little bit more of a walk for folks, but I think during these heavy hockey months and skating months, they've added some parking that should help out. So continue to see progress there on the community center, and then we're going to be getting going on phase 2 design here in the coming months. We have a couple meetings coming up. We'll be having probably a joint Park Board City Council meeting in February, maybe looking at that timeline to kind of talk about what that phase 2 design process is going to look like.
Very good. When that occurs, we will give you the update as well. Parks and Recreation Activity Guide is out. Here's the place to find lots of things going on in the city.
Yeah, so this is the winter spring edition of the Parks and Recreation Activity Guide. It's available on the city website, and so these have all the classes that really go all the way through May, carry us through all the winter during spring months. So take a look at that. I should have gotten a little flyer in the mail, and then check out the city website for all registration.
Okay, and this next item, I don't think it's in the guide, it's just a special add-on here. How about this, a sauna at Central Park? What is happening there? This sounds interesting.
Yeah, kind of fun. So it's new for 2025, a mobile sauna at Central Park. It offers a cozy fire-powered retreat. This unique experience, it's by reservation only, so you can't just pop in. Offers public and private sessions. The reservations are available February 4th through the 10th, and that is available on the city website or the Facebook page, more information about how to register.
While we're talking about Central Park, let's talk about the skating loop. That is very active and busy, but then also we've got other ice arenas around the city that are now getting some cooperation from the weather. Yeah,
the Central Park skating loop has been really crazy, but now with this, we haven't had the snow, but we've certainly had the temperatures to support making ice, which is great. We always worry this time of year when we don't get the ice made quick enough. So we do have outdoor ice rinks available at Weaver, Gleason, and Kerber parks. Those are doing well. We're going to be then shifting our attention over to the middle school, Boundary Creek and Cedar Island. So hopefully this colder weather stays with us here, and we can have some outdoor ice to enjoy for the rest of the season.
And for those that are warm weather fans, let's get you thinking ahead to spring and summer with the community garden. Now is the time to act if you'd like to maybe be involved in that.
Yeah, so we've added a second site for 2025. In addition to Donahue North Park, 30 raised garden plots will be available at Lakeview Knolls Park, so that's kind of where we added the new pickleball facility up there. Open spots are filled on a lottery system. Maple Grove residents 18 and over are invited to register until January 31, and then they make those selections for those garden plots. So yeah, we'll be in spring season gardening before we know it.
Let's hope so. All right, one final item to pass along, a date for your calendar is February 1st for some fun in Maple Grove. What's happening that day?
Yeah, so February 1st is our annual Wonders of Winter festivities over at Central Park. This is from 1 to 4 p.m. Hopefully we'll get some snow before that, because we do snowshoeing and kick sledding that day in cooperation with Three Rivers Park District. But we do have other things if there's no snow, so please plan to come out that day. Of course, the skating loop will be open and all those types of fun things. Pet the Llamas, scavenger hunt. We'll have ice carvers, horse and wagon rides, which our Maple Grove Lions Club always sponsors that. Arts activities, we have fire pits and s'mores, so that's Saturday, February 1st, which is also the day of the Polar Plunge here in Maple Grove, which our police department is very active in. And so we're looking forward to that very fun day of winter activity here in Maple Grove on Saturday, February 1st.
Yeah, big day to get out and about. Well, Heidi, thank you so much for the information here, the recap of the last meeting. And let's look ahead to the next meeting date. And again, as we mentioned earlier, it's going to be a day later. It'll be on the Tuesday, January 21st, 7:30 at the Government Center because of the holiday on the 20th. Lower left, you see the maplegrovemn.gov website. Again, a lot of information there about those commission openings and other things happening in the city. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the City of Maple Grove Report.